Hey, this is Blake from the band SAUL, and you're listening to Thunder Underground.
Welcome to episode 294 of the Thunder Underground podcast. Trent and Jason here. We've got a cool one this week because we've got Blake Bedsaul, the lead singer of SAUL. Very cool band out of Iowa that's been making some waves over the last year or so, and their brand new album just came out. So we're going to talk to Blake about all that. Before we do, we're also going to talk about other stuff, right?
Of course.
Yeah. We've got some music that came out recently.
Right.
And we're going to play, actually. We're going to
play a
some
couple
music.
songs.
Yeah. But before we get into all that stuff, I'm going to let you know who sponsors this podcast. And that would be Med Farm, a dispensary located in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, 24683 East Highway 51. They're right off the highway. They've got a big selection. You can see it all at leafly.com. Follow them on Facebook or Instagram. That's at MedFarmOK. That's PHARM. They run a lot of specials. One of the specials that they always run is if you mention Thunder Underground, they'll give you 10% off your first order. And on top of all that, 30% of all their proceeds go to build no-kill animal shelters. So
that's great.
Yeah.
And did you know that Broken Arrow has more Karens per capita than any other town in the United States?
Has that been proven now?
I saw it on Google. I saw it on the internet, so I have to be sure.
I would have just thought I'd figured they'd be in the top 10, but I thought maybe Owasso would be number one.
Well, yeah, Owasso would probably be. They might be neck and neck.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know how to chill out a Karen? Go to Med Farm.
Yes.
And
that is awesome.
Yeah, get their cards so we can chill them all out.
Chill them all out. Okay. You know.
Right.
It's okay, Karen. It's a public park. They can have a picnic. Calm down. Go to Med Farm.
Right. MedFarmOK.com. That's their website. Tell them we sent you if you go by. Of course, get your discount. All right, Sunset Tattoo is a tattoo shop located in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Give them a call, shoot them a message, get over there, sit down, have an appointment, talk about what work you need to be done. They do all kinds of great work. It's all on their Facebook and their Instagram, which is at Sunset Tattoo Tulsa. Jake and his crew have over 25 years of experience. The tattoos are done good and proper. They're state licensed. And above all else, they are mother approved. So get over to Sunset Tattoo and tell them Thunder Underground sent you. Also, Hella Hot Sauce is a hot sauce company based out of the San Francisco Bay Area. They make small batch artisan hot sauces. You can see them all at HellaHotHotSauce.com. If you're on the West Coast, they sell them in a lot of stores out there. But if you're anywhere else in this country or even this world, get on HellaHotHotSauce.com and get something shipped to you. They have some collaborations they've done. They've got one called Brain Jerk that they did with Ghoul. And they've also got one that they did with Florida Frank from Hatebreed called Florida Frank's Florida Heat. So check both those out. And, of course, tell them we sent you as well. And finally, we've got not Med Farm. We already talked about them. Finally, we got DEB concerts.
Hey, you got this, man.
You'd figure after doing this 150 times, or hadn't been that long, but, 100, I don't know. We've had 4 sponsors. That's actually only been a few months, but.
Right.
Regardless.
DEB concerts.
There you go. Promoter based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They brought a lot of great acts to the area. A lot at the Ideal Ballroom downtown Tulsa. They also booked the Roadhouse stage at Rocklahoma. They've even booked shows at the BOK Center like Snoop Dogg. More recently, Poison. That one got postponed. To keep up to date on info on anything that's rescheduled, DEBconcerts.com. And also follow them on Facebook and Twitter at DEBconcerts. We will also keep you up to date, as always. Coming up here on December 12th at the Ideal Ballroom, Lita Ford will be returning. But this time she will be acoustic. So it'll be a nice social distance show. They've got tables out there for everybody to sit down, have a good night. Lita Ford with Patrick Kennison playing acoustic. And Palandria will be opening that show, and they will also be acoustic. And
nice.
Eddie Trunk will be there.
Right.
He won't be acoustic, but he will be hosting the show and
taking
pictures and all that great stuff that Eddie Trunk does.
Trunk Nation.
That's right. Get out there, check out that show. Like I said, follow DUB Concerts so you're kept up to date on all their future shows as well. All right. Since we're going to play 2 songs, let's just jump into one right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's go right here first off the bat with Shelter in Place. This is a brand new band. As you could guess, from the name, aptly titled, because this band actually formed during the pandemic.
Exactly.
It's got some members of a few of our area bands around here in Tulsa and Oklahoma as well.
Right. You remember Reliance Code, Solidify?
Yeah.
Altar Blood?
Right. All those bands are represented here.
Right.
So let's jump into this. This is Shelter in Place with their debut single, Lose Control. Lose Control from Shelter in Place. Brand new song, just came out this past week. You can follow them on Facebook. It's at Shelter in Place Band. So get on there and give them a follow. Man, that's a great song. I think if you're listening to this because you like SAUL, this would be a good band to check out.
Definitely.
Got a killer solo on it and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, great solo, great production. Yeah, if you are here because of SAUL, this shit is right up your alley. So enjoy. You can even hit that 10-second back button 40 times and listen to the song again right now if you want. It's fine.
Yeah, as long as you keep going forward.
Yeah, after that, just keep going.
But yeah, you can buy that song, of course, which is what we like to promote here. Help these bands out, especially during this time. Get on their Facebook, give them a follow. You can check that song out pretty much anywhere you can hear music these days streaming. So check that out, and of course, tell them we sent you. All right, so Blackstone Cherry.
Let's get into it. The Human Condition, new album just came out.
Yeah, it literally came out this past Friday, October 30th, the day before Halloween.
Right.
We got a new album from Blackstone Cherry. It's probably, I don't know, I didn't look into it. You know, a lot of these bands that have albums coming out now, some of them actually recorded stuff during this, and other ones had this stuff sitting around for the last 6 months. I don't know which Blackstone Cherry did, but regardless, it doesn't matter because new Blackstone Cherry is always a good time.
Right.
Actually, remember earlier this year we got an EP from him, right?
The Back to Blues 2?
Or was that last year?
I can't remember.
Regardless.
Yeah, to my detriment, I left my phone in the other room. And my whole thing about this record was, and I think, just because, I've known you since the first fucking grade, I think we probably are on the same page about this record.
Yeah.
I think there are some astounding moments on this record. Ride, The Chain, thank you.
Yeah, I just pulled it up.
Live This Way, yes. I think those are, the first half of this record is just as good as anything they've ever done. It's as good as any, White Trash Millionaire or Blame It on the Boom Boom. It's better than that. That is definitely the positive. It loses me on the second half of the record. In Love with the Pain is so catchy and it's got a great solo.
Yeah.
But, and also, I have to say Chris Robertson, his voice is just fucking so badass. He could sing anything. I really liked the kind of more rootsy, organic kind of direction they took in the last album. But at the same time, none of this is for me. It's for them. And this is where they this is where they wanted to go. Having said all that, it doesn't matter. It's a great record, and it's better than a lot of the hard rock that's out there right now on the radio. That's kind of my take on it. Don't Let Me Down cover.
Oh, yeah.
I would have rather heard another original song from them, but whatever. It's okay.
You mean Don't Bring Me Down?
Don't Bring Me Down, whatever.
But
you know what? And fuck me, I didn't even know who did that song. I've heard it for years. I had to Google it.
It's like ELO, right?
Yeah, it's ELO. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh yeah, because I never really dug them anyways. So.
Well, see, here's the thing. Well, let's talk about that song for a second. Like, I saw the track list. I kind of scanned through and saw the track list, and I still didn't even think that was a cover because that's not something I would ever relate to Blackstone Cherry covering.
It's a general title too.
Yeah.
Because I remember when it started, I'm like, oh, this kind of beat is like that one. Oh fuck, they're doing that song.
But when it started, and he starts the lyrics, I'm like, okay. And I like the verses of it, but the chorus just, I don't know. It wasn't bad, but it didn't have the same pop as the original did. And I love the original song.
See, that's the thing is I've never even dug that original song.
Okay.
I've never even dug that song.
Yeah.
So, and I completely just, I'm honest right here. I feel guilty for being like, this one didn't really connect with me as much as the last one did. I feel bad.
Well, now,
but then again, I'm a fan of this band no matter what.
If a band has 6 or 7 albums out, majority of the time there's going to be something you don't connect with as much.
True. So, I think the first 5 or 6 songs are just gold.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way. That was my thought was like the beginning of it, kind of like if this was the old days, like you said, side A maybe, was a lot stronger than the rest of it. But I did love the final track, Keep On Keeping On.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of in the same spirit as the final track on their first album, Rolling On.
Okay.
But not, obviously it's not as good as that because that's one of their greatest songs of all time.
Right.
Honestly, one of the best songs that's came out in the last 15 years.
It's what is it Ice-T says? Unfuckwithable.
Right.
You can't fuck with that song.
Right. But see, my thing is, we talked about this on the last album. I liked that album. I like the sound, but when I loved Black Stone Cherry, it was always kind of the songs I went to were the heavier ones, like
I get that.
Maybe Someday,
Killing Floor.
Yeah, just whatever, anything off the first album or second album. But that doesn't really mean anything, like you said, because they've really over the last few years really excelled at this kind of style. Like
right.
I brought it up, I don't know, a few weeks ago. I remember talking about like Burnin' from the last album.
Yeah.
I think is one of their best songs ever. And
I agree.
That kind of mid-tempo, kind of bluesy rock sound is what they excel at, and there's a lot of that on here.
Well, and see, that's what, and I've talked about on this podcast, I've talked about just with you just in general. I always liked the bulk of their music, and the singles were kind of what bummed me out. The Blame It on the Boom Boom and the White Trash Millionaire. It's like, you guys are too good for this, fuck radio. They don't, and fuck the fucking rock radio fans with the fucking Monster Energy tattoos and the fucking Five Finger Death Punch CDs. Fuck them. They don't even get it anyways, because, and so when they got rid of that and just kind of started doing something a little bit more organic and something a little bit more honest, I was like, see, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. And I knew they had it in them, and I was so happy, the last couple records that they kind of got to that. But at the same time, when you see them at Rocklahoma, I get having to play those singles.
Right.
Because, if you play Burnin', that's just, it's too over their heads. It's too good. They just go, what? There's no knuckles dragging. I don't get it. So that's why they're bigger in the UK.
Yeah.
So I liked that direction, but still on the Human Condition, everything is still way better than Blame It on the Boom Boom or whatever. I don't know. I'm probably harping on that too much, so I'll shut up.
Well, at the same time, on the flip side of that, like to play devil's advocate, if those songs didn't exist, they might not have got that. They would
bump
to be on these festivals. They wouldn't get the
bump. So and you're right. Yeah. You're totally right. So what do I know?
And people might say, well, that's a crappy way to like do it, but it's like, that doesn't mean they wrote like, Blame It on the Boom Boom just to get on, the radio. Maybe they legitimately love it as much as they love, Burnin' or.
Exactly. And,
again,
and if
from
we
this
ever
album,
got a member of that band on this podcast, which I hope we would one day, I would try to bring that up, but I would do it in a diplomatic, respectful way.
Right.
But it's just, I think that discussion is interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have a point. I mean, if it wasn't for all those hits, then, so just, I'm just the music snob, so fuck me. and so therein you have that line you straddle.
Yeah.
When you do this kind of shit. So
yeah.
There you go.
When I saw the song list and I saw The Chain, I thought that it was going to be a Fleetwood Mac cover. That's
Jesus.
Before I thought about Don't Bring Me Down being a cover, but it wasn't, and The Chain was cool. Mm-hmm. Those are some cool lyrics, so check that out. App for the times. But
Ride, I think is fucking great. It's fast, and like the solo section is almost like metal.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like old school or maybe new wave or British heavy metal.
Oh yeah.
So I thought that was really fucking great. So
yeah,
I will definitely be listening to this album over and over.
Yeah.
Make no mistake.
Ringing in My Head's a great track.
Yes.
But yeah, so check out The Human Condition if you have not yet. Just came out this past week from Black Stone Cherry. All right, so someone that we have had on this podcast on multiple occasions,
yes,
is Scattered Hamlet, and they just dropped their brand new single this past Friday as well. Bunch of bands, we didn't even mention that. We can here in a bit maybe, but a bunch of bands released new singles.
Oh yeah, no shit.
This past Friday, and one of them being Scattered Hamlet. So let's just jump into this. This song is called Black Flag. I Like It.
Rising, that guitar, the rhythm keeps driving. get Black Flag. Black Flag! Go!
Black Flag, I Like It. Brand new single from Scattered Hamlet. It's going to be on their forthcoming EP that comes out in just like less than 3 weeks now, November 20th. So be on the lookout for that. But in typical Scattered Hamlet fashion, this song is catchy, groovy, ballsy as hell. You know, Adam Joe just has full attitude. It gets stuck in your head.
Right. And every band you ever loved is mentioned in this song.
Well, no, not if you love Five Finger Death Punch.
Okay.
Why are we harping on that?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. Just keep going. Fuck that band.
Hey, we've had the discussion before.
I know, but...
That, you know, we've tried to be more respectful.
I tried.
Because...
I fucking tried.
Because, you know, they're like Jamie Josta says, you know, they're a gateway band that might bring in a kid, then all of a sudden that kid's going to start listening to... You know, Hatebreed or Slayer or whatever.
They're going to hear the song that had Jost on it and go, what the fuck is this? Oh, shit, listen to Hatebreed. I get it, and you're right, but motherfuck, it's hard, dude. It's real hard.
Right.
Because this band sucks fucking dick. You know, Jesus, dude. I don't even know. How are we...
But who doesn't suck dick is Scattered Hamlet.
Yeah, exactly, which is what we need to get we need to get back to.
Right. Like you said, shout outs here to, you know, everyone from Waylon Jennings to Social Distortion.
To Dimebag and Down.
Yeah, and of course,
Clutch.
Black Flag in the title.
Right.
Social D. Willie Nelson. These are off the top of my head. I can't remember.
Matter of fact, when we're done with this, I need to go start up that grill and we should put some Black Flag and some fucking Leonard Skinner on.
Oh, yeah, he does shout out Leonard Skinner
right?
too. And we should, just rotate.
Rotate those two. That's it.
That's a great plan.
Okay.
And that's a band that, like, I've listened to throughout my life, but I never, like, listened to them enough. I guess if that's a good way to put it. Like, they're just, if I'm listening to something from that era, I'd usually go back to the Misfits or.
Exactly.
You know, I got into the Damned this past year or more, but regardless, that's kind of, we're getting on another tangent in the middle of our Adam Jode. But I think Adam Jode is a man of tangents himself.
Yes, he would appreciate this.
And I assume they picked Black Flag as the title because I know that that's one band. I remember them even saying that Black Flag and Misfits are like two of the few bands that every band member, at least at the time, you know, they've had some changes over the years. Could agree on. And I'm pretty sure Adam Jode has the Black Flag tattoo. Right. Amongst his other many
But I also tattoos, when, you know, there's that side of Adam Jode and Scattered Hamlet, but I also like when they're like, you got to bend them strings. You know, if you're not bending them strings, you're not doing anything. Yeah. You got to have that soul.
That's right. But this song, like we just said, is killer song, so check it out. It's got a video for it and everything. Follow Scattered Hamlet on Facebook and Twitter. If for some reason you do not, I don't have the numbers here with me, but the full band has been on here, I believe, twice. And then Adam Jode has been on here another time by himself. Right. Maybe twice by himself. Because I'm pretty sure it's 4 times total. Yeah. And, well, you remember then we had him with Del Diver last year.
Yes, that was great.
Yeah, when Scattered Hamlet and Grind played the Shrine in 2019. So, yeah, once touring picks back up, I guarantee you Scattered Hamlet will be out because they're always a road band. Excellent live band. So check this out on November 20th. Check out the whole EP. And we'll probably be talking about that when that happens as well. All right. Let's just, give a shout out real quick to these singles that came out. One of which being Soil Work, which was killer.
That was a good one.
And that was called what? Between the Darkness and the Devil, or
dude,
I mean, it was. I was surprised.
I lined them all up and listened to them all at work yesterday. And if my memory is fucked, I apologize. But the Rob Zombie song's fucking great.
Oh yeah,
the Hatebreed song's fucking great.
Well, step back. The Rob Zombie, like I've always liked everything he's put out, even the lesser stuff I didn't care as much about. But that last album, which I can't even remember the name of it because every album title has 14 words in it. But the last one that came out like 2 or 3 years ago wasn't like a return to what he was doing in the 90s, but it still had a cooler feel, I thought, than the last few albums.
Right.
But this new song almost harkens back to White Zombie.
It does.
Or the first, or the Hellbilly Deluxe album.
What's funny is Melissa and I watched the video last night, and he's got the old hat on.
Oh, really?
It's like it even harkens back to that, just with the hat in the video, which doesn't mean anything because the music is what's most important.
Yeah.
But I got a kick out of that.
The hat I asked him for one time.
Huh? Right? Yeah. And see, I've always been kind of an educated horses cat.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love that record, and I think it's their most kind of organic record, and I dig that. But this new song is great, so, I'm on the Rob Zombie train. It's all good.
Yeah. It's funny, I was digging through comments on, I don't remember if it was their Facebook post about it or something, and one of the comments was, "This is my favorite song I've heard since Educated Horses."
There you go.
But yeah, even John Five's tone, the dude's like a master guitarist, but I've spoke about it on here before that I've always, whenever they play White Zombie songs live, it just doesn't have that same feel as like Jay's tone, which it doesn't have to. It's a different guitarist, a different band, but
right.
The music in this almost harkens to White Zombie a little bit to me. So
that's great.
Yeah. So check that one out if you haven't. There's also Crowbot released a single.
That was a good one.
And it's a Christmas song.
It's a different one, kind of weird, but that was cool.
Well, yeah, I saw that there's going to be, it's called, or What Child Is This? And their Christmas song, and there's going to be, I don't know if it's an EP or an album that's coming out, like a compilation that this is a part of. And it's got several other bands, I think, it's all from the same record label, I think. Might be a label thing, but there's a new Gilby Clarke song.
I did not listen to that.
It's pretty cool. It's got Nikki Sixx and Stephen Perkins to round out the 3-piece on that one.
Okay.
But it's, it's your typical Gilby Clarke, kind of Rolling Stonesy rock and roll.
Right.
Then there's a new one that I know you didn't listen to, from Filter and from Ministry. Let me see. There's a new Slash song, and it's just Slash. This isn't Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. Right. It's just a song called Where Do I Begin? Theme from Love Story. Which I don't know if that's a movie or what, but it's just an instrumental thing, which is really cool. And then there was, of course, the Mr. Bungle album came out. We're going to talk about that on the next episode.
Right.
And there's a few other things, like I said, Soil Work and Bruce Springsteen, regardless.
Right.
We'll talk about all that next time.
I think it's time to get into some SAUL.
I think you're right. We're starting to ramble now, right? SAUL's brand new album, Rises Equals, came out the week before Halloween, so about a week and a half ago now. If you haven't heard that yet, check it out. This is normally the part where we would kind of talk about it a bit, but I'm going to tell you, go to our YouTube page, at The Thunder Underground.
Right.
We talked about it in a video there probably 3 weeks or so ago. We're fortunate enough to get an advanced copy, so we put that up on YouTube. So if you just go to our webpage, which is at The Thunder Underground, it'll be the second video down under our new Alter Bridge review.
Exactly.
For Walk the Sky 2.0 that comes out this Friday. So check both those out. But yeah, mainly check out the SAUL one where we give our thoughts on the new album. It's a great hard rock album. And we've got this talk with Blake Bedsaul. Something else like random I want to throw in when we talk in this interview about Chris Dawson, who produced the album, is their manager, all this stuff, and he was the guitarist for Seasons After. I know we've mentioned this on the podcast a few times, anytime Doyle comes up.
But, yeah, the 2 episodes, the lost episodes.
Yeah, we recorded them both within the same few days or week. And there was a couple other ones, but I had already, I think, got whatever other one we had recorded up that week. And then we had Doyle and the singer Tony of Seasons After. And both those got lost on my laptop. And I did everything I could and even called like people I knew that were computer gurus. And they told me what to do, and I still couldn't get it recovered.
Right.
But Chris Dawson was on that, he had a few comments during that.
Exactly. And the Doyle one didn't matter because that guy was a fucking asshole. So.
Well, I wanted that one so bad so we could
we could fuck with it.
Yeah, so we could stretch this 5-minute interview into a 45-minute episode.
Which we would have. We would have,
We were going to get JP. It was going to be a great time.
Yeah, it would have been brutal, which we wouldn't have done if he was there in person because he would have clobbered us.
Right.
But anyways.
But on the flip side of that, the one with Tony of Seasons After was great. Chris Dawson was sitting there as well, eating his dinner while we were interviewing Tommy.
Yeah, Tony, like Doritos and shit.
You remember that?
Yeah, it was like a sandwich and Doritos.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, that's one of these days we need to get Chris on here to talk about all the production work he's been doing, and
for sure,
he's worked with a lot of bands besides not Seasons After, besides SAUL as well.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, SAUL. It's like if you love, Seven Dust, Non-Point, that kind of octane feel, this band is right up your fucking alley.
Yeah.
And Seasons After even, this is it. So. We really hope you guys dig this one.
Yeah. Straight ahead, catchy, groovy, hard rock. It's great production, great sound, great vocals, great guitars. So
modern.
That's right. Let's jump into this. Here's Blake Bedsaul of SAUL.
You guys got Rise is Equals coming out here in a couple weeks. Was this something I assume you guys had completed prior to the pandemic and it got pushed back, or like how did that whole process go?
Yeah, we had most of it done prior to the pandemic. Our original release date was going to be around in August sometime, is what we were thinking. But when everything hit, the label got a hold of us and asked if we'd be interested in doing a couple more songs. And so we got back to writing, and they're really the last 4 songs we did for the record are my favorite. One being King of Misery was the very last song we wrote and recorded, and it's our new single. So yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, it's funny the way those work out. Sometimes the last one you record for the album ends up being the lead single.
Right. Yeah.
Well, was it kind of agonizing to wait to get it out there after all this time with the success of Brother last year and everything?
It was, it definitely was. It was hard to, sit back and not really have another, song on the radio, another single pushing, because after, Trial by Fire, it peaked out at 30 on the charts, and then we just kind of were waiting for the record, and then all of a sudden everything hit, and we just had to wait, a little bit longer.
How does that affect your, the momentum or, your morale going into this, wanting to keep that momentum going?
It does affects us. I think like the pandemic depression is a real thing. We definitely kept busy, trying to write songs, and we still have some songs on the back burner that we're working on. But, with everything shutting down, it shut down, the tour we were supposed to be on with Hell Yeah and All That Remains. And, it was kind of a buzzkill there for a while, but, we just got back to work and just kept plugging.
Do you think the momentum you guys had going with Brother last year into Trial by Fire and everything, do you think that'll be something easy to recapture once touring starts again? Or, have you really thought about that?
Yeah, I think it will. There's a big buzz going with King of Misery right now. Currently, 4 weeks in, we're sitting at 28. On the chart. So, it's climbing. It's our highest ranking song right now. And it's, they said it's still moving up. So I think the buzz is definitely still there. Losing a little momentum during the pandemic, we still try to keep relevant. Did a lot of Facebook activity, a lot of social media stuff. We did some live streams. We were fortunate enough to play 4 shows last year, or this year, sorry. And, so we're definitely trying to keep that buzz alive.
Talk about working with Morgan Rose on Inside.
Yes, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Morgan's an awesome dude. And, right off the bat, meeting him, he just walks into the studio. We're already sitting there kind of, jamming a little bit and waiting for him to show up. And he just, "What's up, dudes?" Comes in and gives us all hugs and stuff right away. So right off the bat, it was like a brotherly vibe. We felt good working with him. And to see him actually, perform in the studio, lay down the drums for the track. I mean, it was something I wanted to see for a long time, and actually being there, witnessing it for one of, our songs was amazing.
Right. I mean, what do you tell a drummer like that, or did you tell him anything, or just let him go?
We pretty much just let him go, because he comes in, Zach's got the monster riff, that was going for the song, and Morgan's just like, "All right, I got an idea," and he laid down the whole track in one take, and we're just like, "Dude, you killed it. That was one and done." And I mean, that's why you're Morgan freaking Rose, but you know what I mean? So
yeah.
It was awesome.
So that was literally the first time you met him. You guys hadn't played with Seven Dust at any point or anything?
Nope. It was by happenstance, getting a hold of him. I just got a wild hair, and I was just like, let's see if Morgan wants to do a track with us. And I ended up getting a hold of one of his buddies, and he's like, "Yeah, let's get a 3-way call going." So he pulled Morgan in on the call, and he's like, "Yep, I'm game." He's like, "I'm open this date. Let's make it happen." And it was just that fast.
Nice. When you said you guys recorded 4 more songs, was one of them "Welcome to the Machine," or was that something that was already set for the album?
That was already set for the album. We've actually, even when Zach and I were back in, being a 3-piece band, "Welcome to the Machine" was something we played live. We loved the track. We definitely dove in and made it a little more ours. We shortened the song, down to a little over 4 minutes, because the original one's like 7 or something like that. And back when we used to perform it, we kept it. It was like 6.5, 7 minutes long when we did it, and we really shortened it up and tried to make it our own on this one. And the cool thing was Roger Waters himself approved the track, so I was kind of blown away about that.
Wow.
How did you get in touch with Roger Waters? That's pretty impressive.
That was well, it was, through the channels of, Spine Farm and Universal Records, and
right.
They got a hold of him, and he got a hold of the track, and he's like, yep, it's 100% go, I approve it. So it was very awesome to have that.
Wow.
Great.
Yeah, that's got to feel amazing.
Yeah, especially I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan, so it was awesome.
Do you have, obviously you guys had the song down if you'd been playing it for years, but when you go in to record a song like that from such a legendary band that people are so attached to, do you have any reservation, or were you worried about it all? Or you're just like, "We've got this, let's go"?
There's always definitely some doubt. You never know if you're going to get backlash or say like, "Oh, you ruined Pink Floyd for me," or what people say. And but with this one, we've been playing it for so long, and we've had such a great feedback from it from the years of playing it that we just felt comfortable in going and just doing what we wanted to with it. And and especially after Roger gave us the heads up, we just knew we did it justice, and he was happy with it.
Yeah. Well, talk about working with Chris Dawson. I'm a big fan of Seasons After, and I know he's done a lot of work in the past couple of years with bands such as yourself. Like, what did he bring to SAUL to kind of help you guys get to where you're at now?
Chris brings a lot. I mean, that guy is a one-stop shop for pretty much anything you need as a band. Anything from writing, recording, producing, graphic design, freaking website design and launch. I mean, music videos. I mean, he shot the Brother music video, and I mean, he's a one-stop shop. He can do literally everything, and he does it well. He's meticulous, and he's like, what's the word? Kind of anal about it, I guess. And that's the best part about it, because he only wants the best going out, and he's amazing to work with. Zach and I are probably on the phone with him at least 15 times a week, and we're just rapping about what we got to do here. And he's always ready to pick up the work and run with it. And it's amazing. I'm definitely glad we have him on our team.
Is he almost like, he's not your manager, is he?
He is. Yep.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, that's got to be kind of like a good thing to have someone with that much broad of a range, to be able to work with you that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, originally he started off and he didn't want to be our manager. He just didn't want the responsibility. But after brother started blowing up and us, berating him for like a month, he decided to finally take it. And he works his butt off for us all the time.
Did that connection come from one of you guys knowing him, or did someone suggest him to you early on, or how did that come about?
So we've always been a big fan of Seasons After. When Cry Little Sister came out and that blew up. Back in the day, we got to play. We opened a show for him, and and we didn't really know him at the time. We just knew Chris Dawson and and Jimmy and the guys. We just knew Seasons After. And it was actually through a mutual friend of ours on their last tour. Our buddy of ours, Jared Rule, the guy that actually drummed the song Brother, was touring with them, and he was like, "You got to check these guys out. We just released the song The Toll," and Jared played it for the guys in Seasons After, and they're all like, "Holy cow, man, this is a slamming song." Chris got a hold of it, got a hold of us, and said, "Hey, man, I want to, mix and master and do some songs with you guys." And, the rest is pretty much history from there. And we're like, brothers and, work partners.
That's great.
Shifting gears a little bit here, talk about what you've been doing to keep your voice in shape without being able to play a lot of shows this year.
Right. Well, one thing, I mean, I was working with Melissa Cross. She just she's been dealing with some family issues, as of late. But I started working with Melissa Cross. She's a classic, the metal vocalist specialist. And so, I got hooked up with her through David Draymond of Disturbed, and, we started working and diving in, and then she, started, having these issues. And then, so I've kind of just taken a break on that. We spent a lot of time, we're just working. We got a new tour bus, so we just been working on that. As far as vocal training, I just do the warm-ups and just, try to keep it in shape myself. Right.
Well, when you're starting out, you've got different styles of vocals and did all that come naturally? Was it, one before the other, the clean or the gruff, or, how did that evolve?
I guess I don't really know. I don't really have the answer to that. I guess I just don't know how to do it any other way, I guess. It definitely started more clean, but Zach always wanted me to sing a lot cleaner. And I always wanted to go a little more, like Chad Gray-ish, and go a little more that route. But definitely, I guess I just tried to do them both and just kept trying to perfect it. And, I guess I don't really have a clean answer for that.
Did you have like any vocal training early on, or is like Melissa the first person you've ever worked with in that capacity?
Yep, very first person. I've never had vocal training before. If I was smart, I would have started it way early. But I guess I just didn't really have access to that, or I guess I didn't really look into it. I just went for it, and so far it's working. And hopefully I can, get back with Melissa here soon and perfect my craft.
Do you have, like, early on, was there like one or two people that made you think this is what I want to do? I want to be a vocalist, that kind of thing?
Right. Well, I guess not necessarily. Right off the bat, my mindset was I wanted to be a bass player. But then I realized how like loserly and like nobody likes bass players. So so I gave that up for the lead status. No, it really came down to Zach and I were in a 3-piece, and we wanted to get a vocalist. And I don't know, probably 10 or so people came and auditioned, and I just said, I think I can do it better than these guys, and then I just started diving in and doing it, and that's where we ended up.
And so when you just started doing it, was it like a pretty natural feeling, or did you feel like you had to work on it a bit to get where you wanted to be?
I guess I mean, definitely. I mean, it's a craft that you definitely have to work on. But I guess more or less it came pretty naturally, but I'm definitely trying to perfect it, all the time, just getting better and better. But definitely right off the bat, I think it was more of a natural thing.
Gotcha.
As a singer, who were your lack of a better term, your influences and who are your go-to guys. Like that's what a singer is,
Right. Well, my number one go-to, I think he's the best vocalist out there. I'm a huge fan of Maynard James Keenan. Super talented. I'll ramble off a couple. For cleans, I definitely go with Maynard. For like my heavy screaming, I like the Chad Gray type of vibe. I'm a huge fan of like the raspiness, but the intensity of like Chester Bennington. And then I'm a huge fan of like Eddie Vedder, that gnarl sound, but those are probably my 4 go-to guys.
Right. Will never admit to being a very big Linkin Park fan, but from the beginning, there's no doubt that Chester Bennington was just a powerhouse singer. I even saw him live. It was just insane how good that guy was.
Oh man, he was super talented. Yeah. I mean, I guess I can't say that I'm like I'm not like the biggest Linkin Park fan, but just for the talent and like when I hear the song, it's Linkin Park. It always sounds good, what I mean? So, he's definitely an amazing vocalist.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this might be kind of it's kind of a dumb question, but, working in a band with your brother, we're not heading towards any kind of Black Crowes or Oasis situation down the line, are we?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, Zach knows that I'm the boss. He says that every day. He just comes in, he just says, "You're the boss, Blake. What are we doing?" No, we work really well together. He's actually sitting right here next to me, and
okay.
So we do everything together. So I really wouldn't want to be in a band with anybody else. I guess I don't know what it'd be like. I've never been in a band with anybody else, but we're definitely usually always on the same page. And if we're not, it's a quick little workout. You know what I mean, of making it right between the both of us. So it's always good.
Well, I guess, being in a band with anyone for a long time, especially having the connection of being your brother, does that, when you guys perform together now, is it almost just like the chemistry is just natural and you don't even have to think about what you guys are doing together?
Absolutely. And now, with Will, our bass player and Miles, it's becoming a natural thing. We know when the song "Don't Close Your Eyes" comes on stage, you do not go on Will's side of the stage because he will bass spin you in the face. And they're just things, little quirks that we're figuring out all the time, but it's definitely natural. And I guess we have a really tight bond between us in the band. So, everything comes pretty naturally.
Has that happened to you yet, getting hit by the bass?
It's almost happened to Zach a couple times.
Okay.
Oh, Will got so mad at him one time because we were up on stage and Will screams at Zach right off the bat before "Don't Close" comes on. He's like, "Do not come on my side of the stage." And then Zach, being a smart aleck, walks over there. Will spins, man, almost cracks him right in the face. It was awesome.
Well, outside, obviously you guys are getting this album geared up and you've had singles this year, but outside of the promotion for the band, how have you been spending your personal time during the pandemic?
Really just kind of working on, when the pandemic first hit, I was, I don't know, I guess kind of like depressed or whatever. So I put on 50 pounds or something like that, becoming fat. So lately I've just been working out a lot. Like I said, we bought a new tour bus and Zach and I gutted it. So we're building bunks and, a new couching and kitchenette area. Just kind of staying busy doing work like that.
Gotcha. Well, I got a quick story for you. It's not really a question, but I'm good friends with Dusty Grant and Sprout. And
yes,
2 years ago in 2018, when I went on tour with them, driving and selling merch and everything, Chris sent Dusty 4 of your guys' tracks early on and said, "You guys listen to these. What do you think? Let me know what your favorite ones are." And, we checked out those 4 songs that we were driving, and I can't remember what we told him was our favorite because it's been 2.5 years ago, but just wanted to let you know that, and it was pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I know, because we did that. We were trying to figure out what our first single was going to be. We didn't even know if it was going to be Brother. So we all picked out a handful of, we each picked 3 to 5 guys that we trusted, and it was cool that it was Dusty and you were there. That's really cool.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, we appreciate you taking the time with us today and looking forward to the full album coming out here in a couple weeks.
Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen.
There you go, Blake Bedsaul of SAUL. Huge thank you to John Freeman of Freeman Promotions. And, of course, a massive thank you to Blake from SAUL for sitting down there and talking to us for a bit. We recorded that one, and it's probably been right over a month ago now. We're so backed up.
Yeah, we got all kinds of shit going on.
Which is a great thing. So we can't complain about that. If this is your first time listening to us, we appreciate it. Like Jason mentioned before that interview, if you're a fan of SAUL, you probably like Seven Dust, because actually Morgan Rose is on this album.
Exactly.
We've had John Connolly on this podcast. We've had on members of Saving Abel, Nonpoint, Shinedown, Kitty, Clutch, Dead, Avatar, Trapped. Podcast can be heard pretty much everywhere you can hear a podcast. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube at The Thunder Underground. We've also had on members of Guns N' Roses and freaking Kiss. So check all those out. You can listen directly on our website, thethunderunderground.com. You can also find all our social medias there, so click on them, like them. Any post you see, like or comment, that always helps as well.
And when he says Kiss, we don't mean like Mark St. John and Vinnie Vincent. We're talking Gene Simmons and Bruce Kulick, God damn it.
That's right.
Goddamn right.
And one day, Eric Singer.
I hope.
We could have a member of Kiss, Black Sabbath, and Badlands all at once.
And Lita Ford.
That's right. But yeah, so check all that stuff out. I think I was going to say something else, but I forgot. It doesn't matter at this point. Once again, a huge thank you to Blake Bedsaul of SAUL and Freeman Promotions, Hell Hot Hot Sauce, DEB Concerts, Med Farm, and Sunset Tattoo. And until next time.
Thunder Underground, y'all.